Another plane has hit Tower 2, the Twin Towers. You hate to say the words, but what comes to mind right now, terrorist attack.
September 11th, 2001 is a day Mark Shore and Ryan YANTIS will never forget. YANTIS was at the Pentagon, while Shore was working on the 62nd floor at the South Tower of the World Trade Center.
I was walking back in the bathroom, back into our office. I didn't know the plane had hit the first tower. Our office was Tower 2, 62nd floor of Tower 2.
Like millions of other Americans, I was in our team area where we had a big screen TV on the wall watching as the second plane hit.
While YANTIS seemed safe at the Pentagon watching the video, Shore was running down the stairs hoping to survive. He was fortunate to make it outside before the building collapsed.
When we were out on the street, it was very surreal. It was like something out of the movies.
For YANTIS, the nightmare was about to begin. About 30 minutes after the World Trade Center was attacked, a third plane hit the Pentagon. YANTIS survived and used the training he received during his 20 years in the Army to rescue others.
I wanted to make sure our people got out, and I was clearing offices and doing what I thought was the right thing.
The whole building has collapsed?
The building has collapsed.
The attacks left nearly 3,000 people dead, 6,000 injured, and changed the lives of millions of Americans who are still feeling the effects of 9/11 today.
And it changed the face of law enforcement, of national security, of intelligence work, of our government, and the way we live our lives, from going into an airport to what we now accept walking into a subway when we see armed law enforcement presence.
Michael Masters is Senior Vice President for the SUFON Group, which provides security intelligence services to governments and multinational organizations. He says since 9/11, the United States has spent billions of dollars in national security measures, such as more diligent airport screening and funds that cities, including Chicago, use for training and preparedness.
There's been over $40 billion spent by the United States Department of Homeland Security on federal non-disaster preparedness grants, and the vast majority of that has gone to urban areas like the city of New York and the city of Chicago.
Chicago has used some of the money to boost its network of surveillance cameras. Since 9/11, the number of cameras in the city has grown from 30 to more than 22,000. That includes a system that links thousands of cameras citywide, giving authorities access to so-called blue light street cameras, cameras on CTA trains, buses, transit stations, Chicago Housing Authority facilities, and other public places. Natalia Daravanyi is the Deputy Director of Communications for the Cook County Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. She says the agency has acquired special equipment to support local municipalities in case of a terrorist attack.
We have a huge county, 945 square miles, 134 municipalities. So we position our assets in the south, in the north, and in the central region of our county so that during an incident, we can get them to a municipality as quickly as possible. When I talk about assets, what I'm talking about is anything from vehicles that can go through up to 5 feet of snow and up to 4 feet of water, to generators and water pumps.
The Cook County Department of Homeland Security has also created programs to train first responders. Last October, the agency organized its largest active shooter drill in suburban Rosemont. The training session was modeled after a Paris-style terrorist attack and included 800 participants.
This exercise was extremely vital in teaching us what we're doing well, but also showing us where we can improve.
Since September 11th, officials have also worried about attacks at major sporting events. Last summer, the Chicago Cubs partnered with Cook County and other agencies to conduct its first active shooter drill. Despite heightened security measures, there have been 37 terrorist attacks on U.S. soil since 9/11. The deadliest was the Orlando club shooting last June, where Omar Mateen, a 29-year-old security guard who pledged allegiance to the Islamic State, killed 49 and wounded 53 at the Pulse nightclub.
We know enough to say that this was an act of terror
and an act of hate.
Eric Crumry is a special agent for the FBI. He says while the country is safer since 9/11, the intelligence community faces new terrorism threats.
We are seeing a global terrorism landscape that is more fractured and more bipolar than we've ever seen before. And that just means that we as the FBI, as law enforcement, as intelligence organizations need to continue to evolve and adapt to these changes.
Crumry says collaboration among local, state, and federal law enforcement has been crucial to prepare big cities like Chicago to prevent and respond to terrorist attacks.
Overall, I think that we definitely are prepared, and as we continue to coordinate and share our intelligence, that's the best thing that we can do at this time.